And the date could be good timing.
All right, join us now, nutritionist Shari Boockvar. We're specifically talking about when you eat, the window of time in the day that you're actually eating and not eating.
Right. So there is some new studies, although they're not so new because intermittent fasting has been around for a while.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
Thing.
Yes,
right.
But this is more of a time-restricted feeding, and they are doing studies, some animal studies. One takes a look at eating 2 times of the day. So let's say a 12-hour window, so 7 in the morning or 7 at night. Those are the 2 times you're eating, or more of that intermittent fasting of that 6-hour period from, let's say, 8 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. And with that, you eat whatever you want. But you can't eat on those in-between times. So the question is does that translate over to humans? And if we were to do this restrictive feeding, would it help in terms of blood sugar control, as well as weight loss? So, you know, there's 2 things that I take a look at. Number one is it doable? You know, it's very hard, I think, with the fast-paced New Yorkers who are always on the go and social and eating out.
We work crazy hours.
Yeah, it's hard. And can you stick with that long term? So maybe you can do it as a diet for a month or 2, but does it translate long term? And then the other thing is, if you really look at it, if you're eating 2 meals a day, even if you were, let's say for a woman, eating 700 calories at breakfast and 700 calories at dinner, that's still only 1,400 calories. That still fits within a weight loss plan. Or for a man, let's say 800 calories, 1,600 calories. You know, it would be very hard to overeat, I think, over a period of time throughout the day. So I still think, does it come down to calorie restriction, or does it really go with that, with the timing aspect of our bodies and our circadian rhythm?
Seems like there's something to it, though.
I would think everybody's different.
Yeah, I do think there's something to it if you could stick with it. So again, if you can do it more for the long term and it works for you, then that's great, and you should do it. I think it's finding what works for all of us.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. And about this fish oil supplements, that's always in the news too. New questions about whether they're worth the money, or is it just sort of snake oil too? Right.
So this has been a question for a long time. I've worked with cardiovascular patients for years, and the question is, do you take omega supplements? And you know, we're finding now that it may not help as much as we thought it would, but if you think about it, with eating fish instead of taking the supplements, when you're eating fish, you're looking at changing a ratio. So if you're eating more fish and you're decreasing your intake of, let's say, red meat or chicken, now you're decreasing your saturated fat and increasing your omegas. Right. So when you have that ratio, you're making that substitution. So that could be what's actually making the big difference, rather than taking a supplement.
And eating still tons of steak.
Well, right. So then you're not making a change.
No,
you're still having the same amount of saturated fat, but you're getting those omegas. And then also, a lot of people who eat fish do have a healthy diet overall. They're eating vegetables. Maybe they're having a glass of red wine.
I think fish is more expensive, so it speaks to people who have more money to spend on healthier foods, which are always more expensive than, you know, less healthy stuff.
And it's always easier to pop that supplement too. So, you know, it's easier to. Now, listen, if you don't eat fish, it certainly is something that you can add. Perhaps it doesn't have a negative effect on your diet, but it may not be as much. And don't forget too that you can also have plant omegas. So you look at things like flax and walnuts. You know, so if you are a vegetarian or a vegan and you're looking to get more omegas in your diet, you can do it from plant-based sources as well.
Flax,
Makes sense. Shari Boockvar, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate it.